What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the No Gimmicks Podcast here on the DFPN. Got a good show lined up for you guys. I know there's AEW Dynamite still going on. John Moxley just cut a hell of a promo, and Hangman Adam Page went to business for himself again tonight during that promo, and John Moxley shut that shit down promptly. So I'm pretty sure that's going to make some news tomorrow. But the way he did it was, listen, man, you're a sweet kid. They actually had to bleep him out. I will fuck you up. So I'm gonna let you off with a warning, but don't do that shit no more. That shit was funny. But anyway, we got a good show for you guys. Before we get into the show, let's get into the sponsors. Shout out to the plugs, earbuds. Go to www.gettheplugs.com. Enter code DFPN10 for a 10% discount. Also, shout out to Fiverr. We do have more sponsors coming, some that are going to be exclusive to this show. When we get to that bridge, I will announce it. But this and many other shows will be uncut, ad-free on our Patreon. All of our shows that we do are actually on the Patreon right now. So $3 a month, people. It will get you access to the Patreon. All of our shows ad-free. Great drawings. We just had another drawing for our quarterly winners. So shout out to Amanda Hoffman, who won that one. And just join the Patreon, man. It's a lot of fun, a lot of good stuff going on down there. Subscribe to the Bandcamp. We have so much music on there. The whole catalog is available to you. So go to datfeelin.bandcamp.com. Bunch of new music dropping. We got so much more music dropping by the end of the year. So make sure y'all go check that out. And also, I'm rocking some merch tonight. So go to datfeelin's Teespring. Search for Dat Feelin Podcast at teespring.com. Our Patreon users just got another code to get a big discount on some new merch that we dropped. So make sure y'all go check it out, pick you up something. Now, to my co-host, the fabulous one, D-Truth. What's up?
Nothing's up, man. Kind of interested in this Moxley Hangman Page situation. Can you kind of indulge us into exactly what the circumstances was behind this situation?
So this happened, as you know, we were setting up before the show.
Right.
And right before we went on, I had to go get something. So it was on the TV and I was watching it, and Moxley was in the ring with Hangman. And I think this is going to lead to this was leading to a match in 2 weeks, because that's what they harped on in 2 weeks in Cincinnati. I guess they'll be going one-on-one for the championship. So he cut a promo and, told him he respected him. Moxley told Hangman he respected him. He admired him. But once they get in the ring, he says, I don't respect a goddamn thing. And then he was walking out of the ring. So Hangman took it upon himself to pick up the mic and say, if you were waiting for this for 3 years, where are you going now? So as Moxley was leaving the ring, Moxley then gets back in the ring and says, he's like, look, and he did this on the mic in front of the crowd. He was like, look, you're a sweet kid. He's like, you're like a lot of these other youngsters. You're running your goddamn mouth. And he said, don't say some stupid shit that will get you fucked up. And he's like, since I like you, I'm gonna let you off with a warning. Don't do that shit again. And then walked out of the ring.
Wow. Okay. Well, you know something,
on the mic.
Honestly, if you listen to Jim Cornette's podcast, and if you listen to Keeping It 100 with Conan and Disco Inferno, Hangman Adam Page is the butt of the jokes every single week. Especially, how he dresses. And Conan made the comment the other day, which I thought was hilarious. He says that, I mean, I guess Heyman came out, last week or something on Dynamite, and he was wearing some jeans and I guess a shirt, but it had like pink butterflies or some shit all over it or something like that.
Yeah.
So Conan was like, cowboy shit. Yeah, like broke cowboy shit, if you know Brokeback Mountain. So I'm like, you know what? He ain't looking too good since that media scrum. So I don't know why they keep pushing this guy. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. We might as well just go into it real quick. Start it off here because people out there seem to not understand that just because you think the grass is greener on the other side, which I'm talking about WWE, I'm going to do everything I can now to try to get fired or get released. Well, partner,
right.
You signed the contract. I'm looking at you, Andrade. Okay. You signed the contract. You were so pissed off and you hated what was going over at the Evil Empire, and Tony Khan's not listening to the bullshit. You signed a contract. When have you ever heard of, outside of the mass, firings they were doing, releases, when have you ever heard of WWE just outright releasing somebody because they were unhappy? If I remember correctly, Mustafa Ali is still with WWE, right? After that long campaign he did on social media about getting released, he wanted to go. He's still there. So people need to realize that this is a business. Yes, you are an independent contractor, but for some reason they can hold you to that contract. You're not going anywhere. Now, in defense of Andrade, like a lot of others, have not been used correctly at all. Andrade came in with so much hype, so much promise, started off with Vicky Guerrero as his manager. I thought that was a perfect fit. Haven't done nothing with him since then. The Andrade family office, he got that from Matt Hardy, and it's just, it was nothing. Nothing whatsoever, dude. It's just been down for him. Miro is another one. Miro should have been AEW World Champion a long time ago. That should have been one of your top heels. Why has his wife not been? You bring all these females in and nobody knows. Why has this dude's wife, CJ Perry, not been brought into the company when people know her? And he's always in his promos talking about his wife and the goddess and all this other stuff. Why have you not brought her in? And she just basically said in an interview the other day that she would have loved to. So why have you not pulled the trigger, AEW, and brought her in? You're too busy with Luigi the Pizza Man and all these other people that nobody gives a shit about. And now you're seeing it. Now you're seeing the situation now. Remember all the time I've come on this podcast and I said, hey, AEW, you need to really start thinking outside of your core audience and actually grow the business, because there's a lot of people out there, a lot of casuals that don't watch your show, don't even know you exist. You can't just survive on the hardcores. I've been saying that. People say, oh no, Frank D, no, you don't. No, the New Japan people, the New Japan guys, they'll save them and blah 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 blah. No, because here's the bottom line: if you draw $1 million house, but you're paying all these wrestlers millions of dollars, where's your profit? You don't have any.
You got a point. You have a point.
And I'm not trying to come off as the hater. I'm not drinking the haterade or the Tony-ade. I'm not drinking it. What I'm saying is the truth. Okay? WWE is putting on Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns. You know why they're doing that? Because Logan Paul over in that country is a big deal. That's why they're doing it. Okay? They want top tier quality matches. I don't like the dude. Don't care for him ever since that shit that happened when he filmed that dude's suicide in the forest. Don't care for him. But at the same time, they realize he's gonna bring them attention. More attention than say Seth Rollins will bring them, or Matt Riddle will bring them, or Randy Orton will bring them. AEW,
no, he'll bring them. He'll bring a younger audience in.
Right.
So
who they got coming for this match here with Riddle and Rollins? They bring in what's his name? Daniel
Cormier.
Yeah, Daniel Cormier. They're bringing him in to do this match, or another outside celebrity. That's WWE has always been that way, to bring in outsiders from different genres. WCW did the same thing. But you know the difference between when WCW and WWE does it versus AEW? They bring in people that are actually relevant. That's what the difference is.
So you're saying bring in somebody current, fresh, versus someone that like a Mike Tyson, because they brought in Tyson.
Mike Tyson has been there recently.
Huh?
Mike Tyson hasn't been there recently. And when Mike Tyson was there, guess what? No one cared. Because that aura was gone long ago. Mike Tyson, when Mike Tyson did appearances for the WWF, and then he came back for the WWE reunion of DX when he was the whatever they did when he was there. Yeah, he still had a little bit of popularity left, but no one cares about Tyson now. You go bring people in. You bring like Snoop Dogg, right? Remember when they put Snoop Dogg on the show? No one cared.
Yeah.
No one gave a shit.
So what about a Kevin Gates? What about Fabulous? What about
how many people know? Gun? How many people know Kevin Gates? Not knocking him. How many people know Kevin Gates? Is Kevin Gates a household name? Is that like when WWE brought out the Migos to day one? No, it's not. It ain't.
Kevin Gates is a popular rapper.
Don't know who the fuck he is. Horrible rap he did when he was out there. Only thing I know is the dude sound bit off of WWE's audio tracks and got sued. That's all I know about
him. Damn.
This man.
Have you heard of Griselda? Have you heard of Griselda?
No.
Oh, okay. That tells me all I need to know.
Yeah, I don't listen to the bullshit.
All right. Okay. I mean, but that tells me all I need. That tells me all I need to know, though.
Well, what does that tell you?
Wrestling needs to. Well, AEW needs to grab more pop culture.
That's my point, dude. Now, you know what I'm saying is, if you brought out there, let's say AEW, Tony Khan makes the announcement, right? AEW, whatever their next event is, we're going to have special guest musical artist Drake will be there. Oh, that's going to get some eyeballs. That'll get some definite eyeballs on the product. You know, or
Drake will get eyeballs on the product.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to bring Chris Brown over there. That's going to get some eyeballs on the product. You talk about a rating for Dynamite. If you put Chris Brown on there on the performance, shit, they will hit that 2 million. They'll hit that 2 million mark, guaranteed. And I ain't even a Chris Brown fan like that.
But then you have to contend with the marks who say they're copying WWE's format.
Who cares what the marks have to say? If the marks knew what they were doing, the marks would be running their own business. They'd be running the business. That's a problem. The marks are not running anything. The marks are running their mouth. Just like we're running our mouths. But you know the difference is that when I talk, I make sense of what the fuck I'm saying.
All I'm saying is West Side Gun is he's a popular rapper.
Don't know who the fuck he is.
You may get more eyeballs from a particular community. But what I'm saying is, that's why I bring up the point. Maybe they need to go pop culture instead of specifics.
Okay, but exactly. That's my whole point, dude. Like, okay, what okay. Let me put it like this. I listen to a certain segment of music, certain segment of hip hop. You feel me? So I'm not familiarized with all these different people coming in. I don't listen to the shit. Half these dudes that is out there right now, hey, go be successful if you want to. I don't know who the fuck you are. I'm just keeping it 1,000. Okay. I don't know who you are.
That's what I'm saying. So
only thing I know about him is when I see you on the news and they say that somebody killed your ass. I don't know who the fuck you are.
Wow.
I'm being honest. I'm being completely honest. The dude that got killed out here and got killed in Inglewood at the Roscoe's got robbed. PNP, whatever his name was. I didn't know who the fuck he was until he said he got robbed. He was a rapper that got robbed. I'm like, damn, another one?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know these people because I come from a different era. I don't know them.
But okay, so let me explain it to you like this. Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Would you bring Ice Cube to AEW?
No. Because Ice Cube's not a draw now. He ain't a draw. Ice Cube is a legend. Yes, a legend. OG. Yo, he'll bring in maybe 200 or 300,000 more viewers to your show, but he's not relevant right now like that. So no, you're not going to draw numbers with that. Sorry, you're not.
No, I get where you're coming from. I get
Only person that'll draw. That's an OG that'll draw numbers is Tupac, and he ain't coming back.
I get what you're saying. It just sounds so wild. It sounds crazy.
What's wild about it?
Because if they're bringing in a celebrity, right? If they're bringing in a celebrity, I would expect that to be an event. Like, you get people talking, which the people they brought in have got people talking. Maybe not enough. Maybe not
really?
Enough. Yeah.
They had people talking?
Yes.
Who?
Yes. A whole bunch of outlets were a whole bunch of what they did, they brought the hip hop community into wrestling.
Okay, and how many of those hip hop community, how many of those people actually stayed around and watched the damn show?
I don't know that.
I'll wait.
I don't know that.
Exactly.
But you could argue the same thing for WWE though.
Absolutely.
How many of those people are staying around? Yeah, it'll generate a big buzz. A, because it's WWE, and B, is because it's somebody wildly popular. But how many of those people are going to stick around?
They're not going to. So they put this match, and once again, dude, you see, that's why I gotta correct something. So I mentioned Logan Paul earlier. They're doing this match with him and Roman, right? They're doing it in Saudi Arabia because they know nobody's gonna watch that shit.
Exactly.
Because they know it's not going to draw here. People here don't like Logan Paul. Logan Paul is not really, I would call, a celebrity in the first place. He's a YouTuber. He's a YouTuber that got lucky. He's a YouTuber that Dwayne Johnson wants nothing to do with. Put it like that.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. But in the grand scheme of things, let's go back to the original conversation on why Tony's not granting releases.
Okay.
And we talked about this off air, is because a lot of and this is how I genuinely feel, right? Nobody wanted to go back to WWE. When they left WWE, they came to AEW looking for something new. They got it initially. Then they stopped getting it. Triple H takes over, and now everybody wants to go back. Or some people want to go back, not everyone. But some people are being very vocal that they want to go back. And Tony's like, no, I'm not granting releases right now.
But I don't even remember. I'm just keeping 1,000, right? Even when Triple H was still having some sort of, when he was still there, you feel me? But Vince was still in control of creative, right? When he was still there, talking about Andrade, he wasn't at the top of the card. He was mid-card at best. So if you look at how he's been used versus how, I mean, I don't know, man. Is it the company, or is it your lack of ability to, grab onto the brass ring?
That was going to be my question.
Yeah,
how much of that is actually his fault?
Yeah, because the dude can't cut a promo. He can't talk. It's not his fault. He can't talk. He doesn't really know the language. So it's very hard for him to articulate what he's trying to say. So you have Vicky Guerrero there as the manager, the mouthpiece. You took her away. Then you put him with somebody who doesn't matter. Vicky Guerrero was an instant heat magnet. So he could have, got the rub from her. But then I look at WWE and it's like, I don't remember him main eventing nothing. I never remember him main eventing Raw, SmackDown, anything. You were a big fish in the little pond called NXT. When you came up to the main roster,
you were a guppy in a pool of sharks.
Exactly. Vince saw through it. I mean, that's just what it is. What it is.
Do you think Tony's seeing the same thing?
I think with Tony Khan, I think that a lot of and people are going to be like, "Oh shit, I can't believe you said that," but it's the truth. I think that Tony Khan has buyer's remorse on a lot of guys that he's brought in. I think
that may be the case.
I think Andrade is one of them. Andrade is one of them. I think he thought at the time, "Oh, this guy is a great wrestler. He'll do a lot for the brand, whatever." I think now he has buyer's remorse, but at the same time, Tony's a businessman. I'm not going to let you go, just walk right back into the WWE. So I think that's where we have a situation right now. Same thing like we thought Malachi Black was released, or conditional release. Now Malachi say, "Okay, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still with AEW." Yeah, because you have a contract for 4 years or whatever the situation is. You're not just going to get out of it. What are you going to do? You're going to buy out the contract? You don't have the funds to do that, bro. Because if you did, it would be no problem.
Right.
But people just don't understand that once you sign on the dotted line, you sign that contract, bro. There's something you can do with it. It's a done deal. It's a done data. And they're stuck right now. But on Tony Khan's part is you have a boatload. You have too much talent. Too much talent and not enough TV time. Then on top of that, you want to push the Ring of Honor brand, which is a dead brand. Period. It's dead. There is no Ring of Honor. At this point, we can put the Ring of Honor in the same equation as we did the WCW Invasion.
No.
Oh, well, absolutely. Yes, you can.
I wasn't gonna put it in that category. I was gonna say it's the new ECW.
No. I'm gonna tell you why it's Ring of Honor in WCW. Here's the reason why. Because back when it first started, they were trying to do WCW matches on WWF TV shows defending WCW titles. Okay? That was before the alliance ever came to be. Yeah. So it's not the same thing. There was never any ECW titles during the invasion. There was never ECW belts being defended. The only active titles they had was WCW because WWE didn't own the trademark yet for ECW, so they didn't have any of the belts. So that's why I consider like a Ring of Honor WCW thing. They're both dead brands. Period.
Makes sense. Makes a sense. But yeah, it's some crazy shit. Crazy shit.
Yeah.
Some real crazy shit.
Yeah. It's crazy shit. It's crazy shit. It's like every other day now, people aren't looking at AEW for the wrestling, they're looking at AEW for the drama. What's going to happen now? What's going to be the next story? Like, is that really the kind of is that the image you want to put out there? It's for
not really
for a company that was for a guy that was coming out and he was comparing his company to WCW. I don't remember all this kind of shit happening in WCW. I didn't hear about it maybe in the early 90s with Bill Watts, but that was a whole different situation. But nothing like this. Dudes coming to work and like, oh, I'm waiting on this motherfucker to get here and I'm gonna get in his face. This is like some street shit. But hey, do what you do.
But that is a perfect segue into the next segment. So on that note, there was a rumored fight.
Yeah. Right.
There was a rumored fight between the guy in our last segment, Andrade El Idolo, and Sammy Guevara.
And this is what, the second time that Guevara has been in some shit? First it was Eddie Kingston. Now it's Andrade. I'm like, bro, I think what it's come down to is I think Guevara thinks because he's got the Jericho rub or something and his shit don't sink or something, and then he's protected. I don't know what it is.
No, it's a new problem. It's a new problem that I'm starting to notice just based off interviews that I see and what I hear is coming out of that. So a lot of these young stars, talents, whatever you want to call them, don't have the respect of the business. They don't. They simply don't. They're there to be a star. Once they get a little bit of crowd reaction, then they act like they're kings of the world. And there's very little respect for the guys that paved the way for them.
Yep. I agree with that.
And that's just what I'm hearing. So this is me putting two and two together. A lot of these guys just simply don't have the respect of the business.
I agree. That's what you hear all the time with the young bucks and Omega, that they don't respect the business. I don't necessarily know if they don't respect. I mean, Ultimate Warrior didn't respect the business.
Right.
He was just in it for the money.
Right.
Sting wasn't a fan of the business like that, but he got better over time and learned how to work the craft.
Right. Right.
Goldberg wasn't a fan of the business. Kevin Nash wasn't a fan of the business. And it's usually the guys that aren't the biggest fans of the business become the most successful ones. And the ones that are the biggest fans of the business, not so much. Very, very few.
Very few. Because that shit clouds it. Case in point, Velveteen Dream.
Oh, God.
Case in point.
Yeah.
Velveteen Dream is probably one of the biggest fans of the wrestling business itself.
Right.
Horrible human being.
Until I see a police report with those allegations that from a couple years ago, I'll just say that he has a substance issue that he needs to take care of.
I'll follow you there. I'll backtrack on my previous comment. I'll follow you there.
Yeah. He just kayfabed it.
Yeah. But
he kayfabed it.
You get to a point where you live the business.
Bret Hart lived the business. Triple H lived the business. Shawn Michaels lived the business. Steve Austin lived the business.
You're talking about guys with extreme dedication to their craft as well. There's a difference.
Patrick Clark had extreme dedication to the craft. He created that Velveteen Dream character. He went out there and rocked it. He was, every time the dude would come out there with a different entrance, it was paying homage to somebody. I remember one time the dude came out dressed as Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah. And had a fire match.
Right. And that's the dude. The dude was putting on 5-star matches every time he went out there and did something.
Yeah.
So I just think
I don't know
until I see some paperwork that says something or whatever. I just say that he got sabotaged, and that's pretty much what it was.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair.
Somebody tried to do that. Somebody tried to do the same shit to Enzo years ago. Same thing, and it turned out to be bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. So until I hear something different, I say, hey, Velveteen Dream, Patrick Clark, get your substance shit together. You might be looking to do some time here pretty soon. So just get it right, bro.
I agree with that. I can accept. Because the allegations beyond substance abuse,
yeah,
a lot of that may be bullshit.
So I see a police report where this dude was locked up, arrested. The DA has a case. I'm not. Nah, you got to prove that shit, because too much of that shit gets put out there in the world, and people just take it for that's it. It's the court of public opinion. So
yeah. Apparently, something happened with Andrade. I might have to go back and watch it. I'm getting messages.
He was on the show.
I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch it.
Okay.
I'll have to go back and watch it. But moving on, let's get into some fun shit. Let's continue.
Well, hold on.
Go ahead.
So Eazy-E, Eric Bischoff put out this tweet, right? Great match. No idea why it's happening, but hey, this is awesome, Chant, and it's National Scissoring Day. By the way, what's the main event tonight? Well, that says all I need to know.
A little bit of shade. Although I thought the main event tonight should have been Wheeler Yuta versus MJF. That's just me personally. I would not have that match open in the show.
Well, here's another thing here. We can talk about real quick. So somebody put this out there. Take it with a grain of salt. But here's it was a Tony Khan Ring of Honor update. Says Warner Brothers Discovery wants to continue on with Ring of Honor pay-per-views, and the success of those pay-per-views bodes well for a chance at a weekly show. That sounds like some bullshit that someone said, because we haven't heard anything from Warner Brothers Discovery yet about the possibility of an ROH show, and I'm not sure exactly where they can put it on the schedule.
I think a Saturday night show would be awesome, but that's just me wishful thinking.
Hey, can any wrestling show draw on a Saturday night now?
It's possible. It's possible.
Guess we shall see, my friend.
All I'm saying is I think Ring of Honor on a Saturday would be awesome. That's just me. Plus, you have a opportunity to showcase. First and foremost, let's go back. They need to bring back some of these original ROH people and then showcase them on the Ring of Honor show.
Didn't they just sign Bandito?
Yes.
So
I would definitely showcase Bandito on ROH.
Yeah. But
especially after that match he had with Jericho.
The only reason why supposedly AEW went after Bandito, right?
Why?
Is because WWE had interest in signing him.
Makes sense. Bandito is
so
good,
let's get
man.
him. So let's get him before they can get him, so we can just add on to our bloated roster of talent. There you go.
I mean, great business move. But other than that, don't make sense.
Great business move okay. This is the way to salvage all this, right? This is the way to salvage the entire situation. Very, very simple. They need another hour for Rampage.
I agree. Give me a 2-hour Rampage.
Yep. 2 hours of Dynamite. You have certain superstars work Dynamite. Certain superstars work Rampage. That's how you do it. Kind of like how Bischoff originally wanted the Nitro Squad, the Thunder Squad. That's how you go.
Yeah.
And then you have your dark, your elevation and dark and all that shit. You have the C. So you have the A team, the B team, and the C team.
Yeah.
That's all you got. That's how you do it. It's not complicated.
No, it's not. But I think I read or heard somewhere that they are going to start doing a live 2-hour Rampage.
They need to. And they need to change the time of the show.
Yeah, here's the risk you run of doing that.
SmackDown.
I mean, you run the risk of going up against SmackDown.
Well,
now I wouldn't change the day. I'd change the start time. Because WWE can always plan around that first hour of SmackDown.
So what are you thinking? Maybe a 9 o'clock start time for Rampage?
Yeah.
That makes more sense. 9 p.m. makes more sense.
Yeah.
And you have to do it live. You cannot in this day and age, you cannot do a tape show, dude. No, it doesn't work. That formula doesn't work anymore. WWE doesn't do that shit anymore, and they need to not. AEW does. I understand, the cost of TV and the cost of doing the show, but hey, if they would, let go of some of that talent on that bloated roster, you can free that money up for production costs, and another thing too, like I said before, they need to change the look of the show.
Yeah, I agree.
It looks
tonight looked tacky.
Yeah.
It looked tacky. But in saying that, you have to start moving to bigger arenas too.
You got to move the bigger arenas, yes. But at the same time, even when WWE does small arenas, you don't even know it because the production that they do is phenomenal. Phenomenal production. They have that with WWE, it just has that high tech feel to it. You know what I mean? It's just they really bumped up their productions in the last, I would say, 10 years, where it's really stands out. So AEW needs to be on that level. There's no reason why in 2022 that your wrestling show should look like that. And it looks like a bad. It just looks like an indie show. Is what it looks like with some fancy cameras. But the stage is trash. I'm sorry, the pyrotechnics is trash. The same pyro every Impact had better pyro than them.
But the pyro looks like that because the stage looks like that.
Well, they need to revamp the whole thing. If you're saying 3 years, we're around for 3 years, and it's our 3-year anniversary, guess what? I would have changed up some shit. The very first Nitro was in the Mall of America. They didn't have a set. It was just, they had the logo, right? Next week, they did the next edition of Nitro. That's when they unveiled the new set. The WCW letters on both sides, the structure, they had that. How come AEW can't do something like that? You just did something cool. Like that stage that they use where the stage has the all the different graphics and shit all over it or whatever. Why they need to just overhaul the production. It looks low budget.
Yeah, I agree with that. But how did they get there? You know what I mean? Like how are they going to get there? You can't get there if you're signing everybody. You can't get there if you're doing the same thing on a weekly basis. You can't get there like that. I'm sorry, but it's true. I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry for anything I'm saying.
It's the truth.
Because
you can't get there doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah, you can't keep doing what you're doing and expect it to be a success. I'm sorry, the ratings of that show. This is where you can tell, and I hate when people say this. Oh well, people are not really watching TV as much anymore. Bullshit. When you look at the ratings that the NFL gets on Mondays, and you look at the ratings that the news channels were getting around the election time and all that stuff, that's bullshit.
Why is that? It's because of the production value. The NFL is a production. The NFL caters to not just a specific audience, but they try to bring in as many people as possible.
Right.
Because of the production.
You mean tell me they go outside of you mean tell me that the NFL goes outside of their hardcore audience to try to reach more people?
Yeah, they do.
You mean tell me it's a business that they're trying to make money?
Yeah. Even the elections. The elections. It's all about It's all about getting people on your side.
Well,
That's what that's about.
I will be damned. I cannot believe that they're actually running a business over there and they're not thinking about the hardcores. Wow.
Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But and until and it's not just AEW. WWE's guilty of the same shit.
Yeah.
They're guilty of it too. They have a better production set, but what they cater to is a niche audience. That is what they're catering to.
I've been saying that since he took over, that he was catering to the NXT audience. I've been saying this. This is exactly what he's been doing. It's going for the NXT audience. And it's like I said before, look at the Raw rating every week now. It's declining every week.
Yep.
Oh, that damn Monday Night Football. Is it really the Monday Night Football, or is it just that the show sucks? I think it's because the show sucks.
I'll put a little bit on Monday Night Football. A very little. Just because very little because of just of what they've been promoting. But they haven't been having great games. And even on Monday nights, like even with the game not so great, my want to turn to a wrestling show on a Monday night is not there.
Yeah, this ain't the 90s.
It's not there. Halftime shows for Super Bowl attract more fans than
Thank
NFL.
you very much for saying that. Thank you. Exactly. Even people who don't watch the NFL, we were watching the Super Bowl halftime show this year because we all want to see, especially me, because it was in my hometown, Inglewood, so I want to see what they were going to do. So everybody was watching that shit. And they had people on there, like, had Snoop on there, had Dre, you had 50, you had Mary J. Blige, you had, what's his face? Kendrick Lamar. You had all these different cats out there. And everybody was watching that shit because you know why? Because it drew.
This year, they already announced Rihanna's going to be on the halftime show this year, and already people are talking about that shit.
Yeah, well, I don't know about all
Say
that.
What you want. Say what you want, but Rihanna's going to bring people to the show.
She will?
Yeah. Rihanna has a freaking crazy fan base.
We'll see.
Her fan base is insane.
We'll see.
On par with Beyonce.
We'll see.
All right.
Not knocking. I just said we'll see.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I mean, we got one catalog of what they did, and we got Rihanna in her catalog. We'll see what she got.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Don't be surprised.
It's going to be Bone Thugs versus 3-6 Mafia all over again, buddy.
Oh, my God. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Moving on. Let's continue this discussion that we had last week. That was some funny shit. Best wrestling feuds. I know we did our top 5 last week. And then we did our honorable mentions, and that spiraled
out of control.
It spiraled out of control. So I went back and I watched. I was looking for the Freebirds versus Von Erichs. Happened to find it.
Yeah.
Crazy time in the wrestling business.
Sure was. You see the way the place was popping,
bro. They was wild.
Yeah.
Wild. And Michael Hayes strutting.
Michael Hayes strutting, Michael Hayes moonwalking.
That was wild.
But Michael was an entertainer. He wasn't no wrestler. He was an entertainer.
Yeah. Moveset wasn't that great. But
exactly.
He can get you to hate him.
Yeah.
He can get you to hate him. Just like I was watching earlier, MJF, his moveset is so basic, but he can make you hate him.
Yeah, but he goes for the cheap heat.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Michael Hayes is going for the gusto.
Yeah, he I look at MJF and his promo ability, his promo style. I put it in the same category as and I like this guy, so it's not like a knock. It's just it is what it is. But I put it into the same category as Shane Douglas. When Shane Douglas would be out there cutting a promo, he would just say a lot of nothing and meant nothing, but you booed the shit out of him because of Douglas.
Because he was a loose cannon.
Yeah. So
one other feud that I looked at too. DX versus the Nation. Bro, they did some wild shit to each other.
Well, that was hot. That summer, 1998, that DX versus Nation feud. That was hot. And that's where people say this all the time. They're like, oh man, DX, whatever. It was the best of it was when it was with Hunter Shine and China. No, it wasn't. The best DX faction was when it was with Road Dogg, Badass Billy Gunn, X-Pac, Triple H, and China. That was the best version of DX. That's when everybody was rocking DX. That's when DX was legitimately a cool faction. All right. So, yeah.
No, I agree with that. And the Nation, right when The Rock took over, just hit a high point. Because it went from a kind of NOI vibe to it to we just fucking taking over.
It went from it honestly the group went from what it originally stood for,
right.
As far as like if you go back to the very first incarnation of the Nation, I believe it was where was the first? Wasn't it Memphis? Is where it started.
Yeah.
Okay. So
perfect place to start it too. By the way,
yeah,
it was a perfect place to start it.
Yeah, and it's like I think it was down in Memphis where they first started. But yeah, like you just mentioned, how they took how when Rocky took over, it took away all the elements of the Nation of Islam. It was just basically about a faction of power, especially when it got upgraded when they added Owen Hart to the group.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why the DX feud started in the first place, because Owen Hart was feuding with DX. He was feuding with Triple H.
Yep.
And that's like, okay, now I got my boys with me now.
Now what's
this
up?
dude here, exactly. This dude right here that we will gladly bring to the cookout. He can hang with us. And that was good times, man. That was a really good feud.
Yeah, that was a really good feud. Side note, it seems to me, and maybe I may be the only one seeing this.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn in the Bloodline is like Owen Hart in the Nation. I may be the only one seeing this, but I could be totally wrong. But this is what it appears to me. He's playing that role like Owen Hart in the Nation of Domination.
No. Because
you don't think so?
Because Owen Hart in the Nation of Domination wasn't goofy. It wasn't comedy.
Okay.
Sami Zayn is doing comedy and shit with them. Owen Hart was a co-leader of the Nation with The Rock. He wasn't getting up. Hey, Sami Zayn, you are, Owen Hart, you are honorary member of the Nation. You were, honorary. No, he didn't do no shit like that. Owen Hart was out there kicking ass, going crazy.
That is true.
So,
that is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
I get your point, but at the same time, too, the Bloodline aren't as cool as the Nation was.
Hell no. The Nation should get more respect, bro.
The music alone of the Nation. If people remember the Nation's music,
we are the Nation of Domination.
No, not that one.
Which one?
Not
the first
that.
one?
No, I'm talking about when Rocky took over.
Yeah, because it was similar to Rocky's theme.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then The Rock's first theme. You talking about loving the theme song. God, dog. We got to do that next.
Yeah.
Loving a theme song. But yeah, that feud was good. I wasn't too familiar with one of these feuds I actually came across. Apparently, Jake the Snake and Sting had a feud in WCW.
Yes, WCW. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake had debuted in WCW in Baltimore. He had debuted, I think, in the summer. He came over to the barricade and came in and attacked Sting,
and
hit him with a steel chair.
Shit out of Sting.
Sure did. Yeah, he was threatening to put the snake on him.
Yeah.
So that's when they built it, and Jake had a couple of matches in WCW. He wrestled Marcus Bagwell. He wrestled Dustin Rhodes, a couple of them, but it was all leading towards spin the wheel, make the deal, Halloween Havoc 92.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out with Jake. And I think if Jake had continued on at WCW at the time, it would have been monster business for him over there, but it just didn't work out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But him and Sting, that feud they had, and the culmination of it at Halloween Havoc, which I thought Halloween Havoc 92 was like one of the most underrated shows that WCW put on, because it was actually from top to bottom, it was a pretty good wrestling show.
Yeah, I was leading up to that, but that's a pay-per-view I really want to go back and look at. Yeah. Just because that match was on it.
Right.
And I'm leading this into a segment that we're going to, but yeah, it was one of those, oh shit, I didn't know this happened. Like I don't remember it.
Oh,
I was around for it, but I don't remember that happening. And then when I came across it, I was like, oh my God, this is
So here's another feud you probably don't remember that was about to happen, but they couldn't finish it because one of the parties got hurt. But they were going to go into this. Now I'm going to blow your mind right now, because this guy was going to be a babyface in this feud. It was WCW. It was 1994. It was going to be Big Van Vader versus Ravishing Rick Rude. Rick Rude was going to be a babyface.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. They were about to do that feud, but then Rick got hurt in a match with Sting over in Japan, so they couldn't finish it. But yeah, they were going to go. Rick Rude was turning babyface. He was on a feud with Vader. Yeah,
that would have been a good feud, actually.
Yeah, because there's so many. Because Rude had all this time had been a heel.
Yeah.
So to turn him,
could you imagine the amount of ladies that would have like instantly fell in love with that man?
Yeah.
Because he already had him as a heel.
Yeah.
As a baby face?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's crazy, but Rude was turning babyface in WCW, and then you got the injury happened. They couldn't go through with it, but that's what was happening.
Crazy.
Yeah, so if you with Vader, yep,
that would have been a monster feud.
Okay,
Vader was a great heel.
Oh, Vader was one of the best. But I'm going to tell you another match, another feud that really nobody talks about. And I thought it was pretty good. You remember Crush versus Macho Man in WWF 1994?
Yeah.
When Crush turned heel, was with Mr. Fuji. That was good shit. That was good. That was good shit. Good. That was great. I enjoyed the hell out of that.
Yeah, that was right before he left, right?
Yeah, right before he left to WCW.
Yeah, it was right before. I remember that. That was a good feud.
Yeah.
Didn't it have something to do with him commentating? Like it brought him out.
What it had to do with, if I remember correctly, what it had to do with is Yokozuna had wrestled Crush, and he had did the bonsai drop on Crush a couple of times, and I guess Crush was like, Macho didn't come out to help him, or Macho Man was on commentary, but he didn't come out to help Crush.
Yeah.
So then when Crush came back, Crush had teased turning heel, And Macho got in the ring. They did a promo segment, and Crush was like, "Oh, these people don't care about me." And he's like, Macho was like, "Oh yeah, these people are cool," and all this bullshit. And then Mr. Fuji comes out there, and you think that Crush is by he's him and Macho. Macho's holding his hand up. You think that everything is all good, and booyah, Crush knocks the shit out of Macho, and that starts the feud. Takes him outside, picks him up, press slams him on top of the guardrail. Macho's bleeding from the mouth. Great visual. And it was off after that, dude. Then they had the match at WrestleMania 10.
Yeah. I do remember that feud. I do remember that feud. That was some good shit. Yeah. That was some good shit. Yeah. And then another one that I went back and looked at, it actually caused me to alter my top 5.
Huh.
So, the Rock versus Austin feud.
Yeah.
I like when I did it originally, it was just based off like my memories. Like which one of these, like how many of these feuds like actually are ingrained in my memory? You know what I mean? Like these are the reasons that I became a fan of wrestling. You know what I mean?
Right.
Rock versus Austin was my number 5. I went back and looked at it. It's number 3 because I can't put it ahead of Macho. Sorry. I can't put it ahead of McMahon and Austin. And for what Brock Lesnar, Eddie Guerrero meant for me personally, I can't move that from my number 1. So it went from 5 to 3.
Yeah.
But that was a legendary feud, man. It was a legendary feud, just based off all the talking and that one WrestleMania match where Stone Cold walks in the ring and he's trying to do his 4 corners and The Rock steps in front of him.
Yeah, WrestleMania 15.
Yeah, steps in front of him and they just go at it right then and there. I'm like, okay, these motherfuckers had chemistry.
Like, they did. They had chemistry. They had chemistry. They had that chemistry all the way back in '97 when they were feuding for the IC belt. That's when you knew the tide was really starting to change and turn a little bit because these two dudes had it. Austin and Rock they had, like you just said, that chemistry. They had that. They can go out there and just do the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So absolutely. Another feud too that I can bring up that a lot of people don't talk about for some reason, but it was actually pretty good at the time. Ahmed Johnson versus Farouk.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, it was.
Yeah.
It actually was.
Because Ahmed was over like Rover, bro.
Yeah, he was. He was. And Farouk came in there like, you Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
You're here doing they work for him.
But remember, Farouk now Farouk is saying all this, but remember when he came in, he was Farouk Assad, the fucking gladiator. Mm-hmm. Right? You know what I mean? He out there getting managed by Sonny, who she ain't really like his skin color, put it like
that. This is at the time of my fandom where I was still a little bit naive. I'm like, why is Ron Simmons wearing this?
Oh, it's very simple. It's very simple. I was listening to Bruce Pritchard's podcast, Something to Wrestle, and the reason why he was wearing that helmet is because his hairline was receding, and Vince saw that and says, "Let's just put this thing on him to cover it up.
Put this helmet on your head."
Right.
Put this helmet on.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, young Mia's like, why is he dressed like that? This ain't the man I remember. They done made him a cartoon. What are they doing?
What are they doing? The first first black WCW champion. You put him in a damn gladiator gear.
Not even a good one either. That shit looked like a damn cartoon costume.
Right.
Like what is going on here?
No, he looked like Mega Man.
He did. He did. He really did. All right, man. Last segment.
All right.
In doing this, it sent me in a rabbit hole.
Oh, is it a white rabbit hole?
No. Although we got to say that for the final thoughts. But
yeah.
Finding the holy grail of matches that you don't know that existed, but they are there. But they actually happened. Matches that you would never think would happen, but it actually did.
You want me to cheat and go get my my DVD I bought, a month or two ago. It's called the best of WWE unreleased matches. 85 to 96.
I'm gonna give you one.
Okay.
That you would say, that actually happened. Bryan Danielson versus Kamala.
Yeah, I know.
Actually happened.
Yeah, it didn't happen in Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. Yep.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I knew about that.
How the hell did you know that?
I'm a student of the game, man.
Yo, really?
Yeah, I knew about that.
Really?
Uh-huh.
What year was it?
Wasn't it like 02, 03?
Yeah, it was 03.
Yeah.
Damn it. Was trying to get you.
Try harder.
A dream match that we wanted to see now, or up until recently, a dream match that everyone was clamoring for is Undertaker versus Sting.
It already happened in WCW, me and Mark.
Me, Mark Calloway versus Sting actually happened.
Yeah. just like technically Sting versus Kane happened, because when Kane was there as Bruiser Mastino or some shit, or Bruno Mastino or whatever his name was, he was going by in WCW. He fought Sting on an episode of WCW Worldwide. So yeah. So Sting technically already beat the Brothers of Destruction.
What about stunning Steve Austin?
Yeah.
Versus the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Happened on WCW Saturday Night.
Fuck you. You know too much. A triple threat match. You know which one I'm about to say, right?
I don't know.
CM Punk versus Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio.
Okay.
That match actually happened.
Yeah, it happened in Ring of Honor, right?
I'm not sure if it was Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that match happened.
I'm not sure.
It was 2002. It happened right before Eddie went back to WWE. Like, he did that match and literally showed up on Raw and attacked Rob Van Dam. And they started the feud for the Intercontinental belt.
Yes.
So I would say it was the first episode of Raw. The first episode of Raw the week after the draft is when it happened. It's when Ric Flair was the co-owner of the WWF. So it was a night that Ric Flair had the Undisputed Championship. He was going to give it to Triple H.
Yeah.
And then Taker came out there and they were chanting, "What? What?" And Taker says, "I'll tell you what, say what again if you sleep with your own sister." And they're like, "What?" And Taker went,
what? Huh.
Yeah, Taker just yeah, Taker just shook his head like
fucking dummies.
Yep.
All right, matches that should have happened but didn't happen.
Okay.
Of course, we know the story behind this one, obvious one. Shawn Michaels versus The Rock.
Right.
Had plenty of time to make it happen. Never happened. If you don't know the story why, I suggest you go read up on it. Long story short, Rock didn't want to do that shit.
But why didn't he want to do it?
Because of the click.
No.
Pretty much. Well, not really the click. It was Shawn Michaels.
Well, but why?
Because Shawn Michaels was an asshole to him.
Yeah, but that wasn't what it was about.
What was it about?
So back in the day when Rock's grandmother was running a promotion, Shawn Michaels wrestled down there for her and he disrespected her. And Rocky never forgot that. Yeah, he never forgot that. So then he came to the WWF and Triple H and Rock, or Triple H and Shawn were trying to hold him down, trying to fuck him. And then he went above all that. But he just, after that point, he didn't want to work with him because, and it all went back. Now he worked with Hunter, but he never worked with Shawn. It goes all the way back to when Shawn disrespected his grandmother.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
I'm pretty sure they're cordial today. I mean, because Dwayne is up, Dwayne is up way up there.
Yeah, he don't fucking care about Shawn.
Yeah, he don't care about that. Yeah, exactly. So that's what it was about. But the other match that should have happened. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You go.
Another match that should have happened that didn't happen. And there's various reasons why it didn't happen, but nobody knows the real story. Hulk Hogan versus Bret Hart.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Hogan probably didn't want to put over Hart. That
don't know why.
That would be my guess.
It was. Pretty sure that's what it was. But I'm not sure why you wouldn't want to have put over Bret. That could have been big business. That's another thing that it's like, you hear so many conflicting stories about WrestleMania 9 and them taking the belt off of Bret and put it into Yoko, and then Yoko dropped it to Hogan 2 or 3 minutes later.
Right.
And Bruce Prichard said on his podcast that it was all about the European tour, that Hogan was going to be on the European tour, and it made much more sense for him to have the belt. And then also he says that it would get people to order the show because it was something that they would expect. You would not have expected Hulk Hogan to win the WWF Championship because he wasn't even booked in the match. He was booked in the tag match. So now you oh shit, Hulk Hogan just won the WWF title. And this was the first time that they had ever experimented with replay of the pay-per-view. They had never done it before. So they did the initial airing at WrestleMania 9, and then Tuesday would be the follow-up. You can reorder it on pay-per-view. They never done it. So that's why they said, let's try this and see what they get out of it. So that's why we did it. But also it's because Vince just didn't see that Hogan versus Bret Hart match as a marquee match. Just like he didn't see Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan as his big marquee match. It was Vince. He didn't see it. He saw it.
That match,
I think is bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Bullshit.
That's bullshit.
You could
ain't no way in hell that match don't make money.
Well, look at the business that match generated for WCW in '94 when Hogan came in. Look at the match, and look at the match. Look at the pacing of the match. It was actually a very entertaining matchup. So I don't understand that.
I don't either. That one I don't get. Just like we never saw. Well, we could have saw this one. Stone Cold versus Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
we could have saw that, but we got Stone Cold versus Scott Hall.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing. Austin didn't want to work with Hogan for whatever reason. Rocky wanted to work with Hogan because Rocky knew Rocky's feelings wasn't all in it.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons why he wanted to go and do it. And on top of that, Austin probably still had resentment because Austin wanted to work with Hogan in WCW, but Hogan didn't want to do it because, like, you're not at my level, bro. You're sunning Steve. What have you done to be in the ring with the immortal Hulk Hogan? But at the same time, you're out there doing this stupid shit with Dave Sullivan as Evad, and you're out there wrestling the Butcher.
The shit goes on and on, man. On and on. Stone Cold Goldberg. We didn't get that one.
Could have got that in WWE.
Could have got it. Didn't get it. Did not get it.
We can't think of any more.
Bret Hart, Kurt Angle.
That would have been good. It would have been a great match had Bret not got hurt.
Yeah.
But that's depending on if Bret would have ever came back to the Federation.
That's true too. It was just too much for him back then to come back.
But another matchup I just thought about that we could have had that we didn't get, and it would have been a big deal in the Invasion. People's Champ versus People's Champ. DDP versus The Rock.
Ooh, that would have been
before The Rock ever called himself the People's Champion. DDP was doing it on WCW.
Yep. That would have been fire. That would have been fire. Another one that we should have got with this whole invasion angle, but we just didn't because of money, contracts. Yeah. NWO versus DX.
Yeah. Could have got it, but hey, if I'm making $3 million or whatever to sit at home and I've been working this whole time and they want to pay me $3-4 million and Vince isn't really offering me that much and I gotta do all these dates, yeah, I'll set out too.
Agreed.
The only ones that took that deal, that took the buyout, was DDP, Booker T, I think Bagwell.
Yeah.
The only ones that took the buyout. We can do a whole podcast one day about WCW, but we'll probably make that a Patreon exclusive where we talk about the invasion.
Yeah, we can do that.
We just look at full depth, look at the entire history, go back to the entire history of WCW, all the stuff that was going on in WCW that a lot of people probably don't know about, as far as the racial discrimination lawsuit that was filed and all the stuff that was going on with Bill Watts back in the day, Jim Herd. We'll do a whole damn deep dive of WCW on our Patreon if people want to listen to that, because we'll go in depth with it.
Yeah, we can do that.
Up to the point where they close.
Yep. We can do that. All right, man. Final thoughts. What you got?
Final thoughts is that if you don't want to work somewhere, don't sign the contract.
Agreed. You knew what you was doing. You did it. You did it to get away, and now you're stuck. So stay stuck. Honor that contract.
Honor the contract. It don't matter if it doesn't matter if you're gonna be on Dark Elevation for the rest of your life. Honor that contract.
But that speaks volumes about you, not the company. It speaks volumes about you.
That's what I'm saying.
This is twice now. Just two different companies. You had issues with one. You wanted to leave. You left.
Yep.
You're having issues with this company. You want to leave. You're stuck.
It's issues, aka I want to go back to WWE because my wife's over there.
Well, yeah, that too, and I'm pretty sure that has a lot to do with it. Yeah,
but bro,
that probably has a lot to do with it.
But bro, you only working 1 day a week.
But I'm pretty sure the WWE's travel schedule. I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember Charlotte working house shows.
Well, if she doesn't, she still has to travel to different cities.
So I travel to Raw or SmackDown every week. That's it.
Yeah, but that's 2 days out. Well, that's 4 really, because you travel, settle in, work the show, leave, travel, settle in, work the show. That's at least 4 days out of the week. And if he travels, that's at least 2 days out of the week. So they're probably only seeing each other passing.
Well, you know what? It's none of my business. I'm just saying.
Yeah, But I'm saying that type of shit can take a toll on a relationship.
Well, I understand that. That's exactly what I think happened with Malachi Black. But like I said, it ain't my business. That's their business.
Yeah. I'm just that's a feasible way to say I want out. I get that. If that's truly what,
just say that.
Yeah. I need to be around my wife more. Like,
yeah,
we don't see each other. We just get, and that first year of the marriage is the most. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. That first year of the marriage is critical, especially if you're traveling. It is very critical. So I get it. So, but yeah, honor that contract. And if you just so happen to listen to this, find us some good matches that we need to go watch. Find us the Holy Grail. And that's it. Got anything else, man?
Well, I'm gonna put it like this. Once again, help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. All right, that's it. You better know your role.
And shut your mouth.
Right.
All right, man. This has been a good episode of No Gimmicks here on the DFPN.
I'm gonna do my Larry Zbyszko.
Come back to us next week. Till then, y'all be easy, be safe, take care of each other. Peace.